I'm Jennifer. Welcome to Orton Gillingham Coaching. Let's continue our discussion of VCCV syllable division pattern, where we have the vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel syllable division, and that's the overall pattern. And then we have the sub-patterns of rabbit, reptile, candy, and hornet. Today, let's concentrate on candy words. Remember, syllable division is the breaking apart of multisyllabic words into easier, more digestible parts. Students will follow the rule for the syllable division, and then they will use the syllable types that we are teaching them, the Revloc system of labeling syllables, to label each syllable type for easier reading and spelling. Candy words are the next pattern taught in our VCCV syllable division pattern. We've already taught rabbit and reptile words, and candy words are found here on our scope and sequence. They are directly after reptile words. We have already taught that the Y, right here we're teaching on our scope and sequence, the Y can make a short I, as in Jim, a long I, as in cry, and a long E sound, as in candy. We've already taught that. So when we get to this syllable division pattern, what we're doing is teaching groups of words where the Y makes the long E. And we're twofold. We're practicing syllable division, and we're practicing the long E sound being at the end of words. That's where that long E sound comes, when it's the Y. Let's divide some VCCV candy words. Your student will need to know what a consonant and vowel are. They will need to know that the Y at the end can say E, that has a vowel sound, long E. But you've already taught your student that the Y can make three vowel sounds, short I, as in Jim, long I, as in cry, and long E, as in candy. So you've already taught that, and now this is going to reinforce that pattern and also reinforce our breaking apart the VCCV syllable division. So let's get started. We're going to do it the same way we always have. Underline your vowels. Y is a vowel, saying long E. So you'll go vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, VCCV. You will break it apart between the two C's because that's the rule for VCCV syllable division. Now, according to our Revloc label system of labeling syllables, you will label closed. They can label this open. On my scope and sequence, I would not have taught open syllables by now, so I would just have the student make that Y say an E, and I would say that Y is going to, in all of these words, is going to say an E at the end. We're practicing that. So then they would read the syllable candy, candy, candy. So let's do another one. Happy. Underline your vowels. Start with the first, V, C, C, V. Divide between the two C's. Now we have, according to Revloc, closed, and our Y saying E. And we have happy, happy, happy. Let's try one with a little blend here. We're going to underline the vowels. V, C, C, V. Divide between the two consonants. Sorry, I messed that up. It's ugly. But we get a closed syllable, and they have the E at the end, the Y saying the E. So they would read dusty, dusty, dusty. Let's divide some more VCCV candy words. These are going to be a little trickier. This one, normally words start with a consonant, but it doesn't. So we're still going to do the same thing. Underline our vowels. Start with the first vowel, label V, C, C, V. We're going to divide between the two consonants. F closing in I for a closed syllable. Y making the E sound. So we have if, fee, iffy. This one's a little tricky in that we're not doing the double consonant. So, but it still doesn't have a consonant at the end, at the beginning either. So we're going to underline our vowels. V, C, C, V. Divide between the two C's. N closing in E for a closed syllable. Y saying the E sound. So we have NV, NV, envy. Now this third one is a little trickier because we have our little blend at the beginning, but we do the same thing. We underline our vowels. We start with the first vowel, V, C, C, V. We break it between the two C's. And we see that the M is closing in the U for a closed syllable. The Y is making the E sound. So we have grumpy, grumpy, grumpy. Your student just read grumpy. That's a pretty big word. What are some ways to practice candy words? I have a packet for that. First, we have students go through and divide words and label them. Now this I have labeled the open syllable with the Y just in case students are advanced enough, but you could just say the Y makes the E sound and no label on that if you have not covered open syllables. Answer sheet. Next we have dictation, and you will want to do some dictation with these words, and phrases and sentences dictated as well when students are ready. You will want to do nonsense words so that you are sure that your student is getting the concept of breaking apart VCCV words, the syllable types, and reading that Y as an E. Next, we do want to add in to our candy words, rabbit words and reptile words, and have the students break those apart and read them. We can have students write some sentences using candy words. We can have passages and stories that contain candy words for our students to read, and an advanced version. So there are plenty of activities to help our students get some good, well-rounded three-prong approach, auditory, visual, and kinesthetic practice for learning candy words and all of our VCCV words. As a final word, the purpose of syllable division is to break down words that are multisyllabic into more easy to read, digestible parts. Adding candy words in is a little trickier because we haven't taught open syllables, and that Y saying E at the end is open. But you have taught that Y says 3 vowel sounds. And that's really what we're practicing here, is grouping the words together and practicing words that end in Y saying E, and at the same time practicing our VCCV syllable division. Then we get to mix all those in with rabbit and reptile, and now your student has 3 multisyllabic types of words they can read. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll like and subscribe and visit the workbook store.